One Punch Man is one of the most popular anime or manga to come out in the last decade, and for good reason. It's super funny, has a compelling story, and includes some incredibly hype action sequences throughout. However, since Season 2 released to a lackluster reception in 2019, we didn't hear much about the anime production for a while. Thankfully, a teaser for the third season was released a few months ago, confirming that the anime adaptation will be continuing. However, this video isn't about the anime. If you haven't read any of the manga, I would highly suggest leaving and coming back after you've done so, since this video will contain spoilers for things coming up later on in the story. Today, I want to talk about the being known as God. More particularly, what are their motivations? We've only seen this God a handful of times so far, but it's clear that they don't really like humans at all. In fact, it seems like they don't really care for any life on Earth. From what we've seen, they appear to people who desire power, disguising themselves as a trusted figure in that person's life. In Garo's case, they chose to appear to him as Bang, but when appearing to Tatsumaki he took the form of Blast. While in the form of these trusted figures, God offers them powers beyond their current limits, usually extending a hand to them. Additionally, it seems that these powers don't require consent. Garo just slapped God's outstretched hand away when it was offered to him, and that small amount of contact was still enough to empower Garo. When a person accepts or is given power from the so-called God, it seems that they can also be influenced by them, though it's unknown to what extent. It's also clear that God doesn't want people to know much about what they're up to, as in situations where people granted his power are being interrogated or defeated, God just kills them before they can give anything away. This is seen most prominently with Homeless Emperor and with Garo himself, with one exception to this rule being Psychos, it seems. So far, it appears that the only thing God wants is to sow chaos by granting people insane powers when they hit their lowest point. Most people who have been empowered by God find themselves opposed to heroes, so it's clear God doesn't exactly have the greater good in mind. However, if God simply wants humans dead or transformed into something unrecognizable, why don't they just come down and destroy the world themselves? It would certainly be far simpler than a campaign of manipulation behind the scenes, and they should be capable of doing so, considering what we've seen in the series so far. The only reason is the presence of Saitama. It has been confirmed through a message from Blast that God is only intervening on Earth because something has caught its attention. It hasn't exactly been confirmed who or what this is, but Saitama, being more powerful than anyone else on the planet, is clearly someone who could possibly catch the attention of a higher dimensional being. I think that God could be empowering people to try and draw out Saitama's power, or simply testing him for some reason. However, we still don't know what the end game is, and whatever it is, it's certainly not good. One theory states that Saitama himself has actually been able to do something that God himself is not capable of. It's stated throughout the story that God placed limiters on all life on Earth, and that through monsterization and other processes, that limiter is able to be increased to greater levels of power. However, during the series, Saitama is the only character that we have ever seen who is able to fully break his limiter, something that, theoretically, even God was not capable of doing. Perhaps God is searching after Saitama as a way to break their own limits. Whatever it is, honestly, I'm just excited to watch Saitama punch that dude. With all that being said, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. It really does help out. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about in the future, feel free to drop it in a comment down below. And while you're down there, why not hit like and subscribe while you're at it? It really does help me out. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!